Alright, you guys, Barcelona are humiliated in Seville. It ends 4 to Sevilla and 1 to Barcelona. Let's talk about it. First, if this is your first time seeing my video, hi guys, I'm Just Max, and on this channel I talk about football from the La Liga to the Prem to the UCL, and always is Vizca Barca for me, even on days like this. So let's get into what we saw from Barcelona today, because I have thoughts. And the first thing I thought was this was the most disgusting performance I have ever seen from an FC Barcelona team. This was not characteristic of the team that I have come to know and love. They were bad on every front. Sevilla totally dominated and won them. They were just unrecognizable, and the team that Hansi Flick put out today, I don't want to criticize the lineup because obviously this is the players he has to work with. But regardless of the injuries that we are dealing with at Barcelona, this is unacceptable. We should never be put in a position like this where this team was totally outrun by a Sevilla team that hasn't won at home this season, that hasn't beaten Barcelona in 10 years. They put together one of the most dreadful performances from Barcelona that I have ever seen in over 10 years. But let's get into the lineup, because it was Szczesny in goal for Barcelona, Gerard Martin in left back position, Pau Kubasi in center back. Today he was partnering with Ronald Araujo. Hansi Flick is still trying to figure out that combination that works. Jules Koundé came into right back. Frenkie de Jong and Pedri held that pivot position. Ferran Torres, Dani Olmo, Marcus Rashford, and Lewandowski were Barcelona's forwards. Now, I'm going to talk about everybody that played this game because I am so very disappointed. And as I said on my TikTok, if you're not following me on TikTok, it is at the Just Max Show. Please go follow me on there. As I said on TikTok, the worst thing that has ever happened to Ronald Araujo's career is that video of Luis Enrique from, I think, 2 seasons ago, where Luis Enrique was breaking down Ronald Araujo's footballing ability. If you remember that video, Luis Enrique clearly identified that Ronald Araujo is Barcelona's weak link. Why? Because he is poor on the ball. He's prone to making mistakes when he's pressed. And definitely in that game from PSG, they were advised to attack Araujo specifically. Ever since that video came out, every manager that wants to press Barcelona knows that Ronald Araujo is the weak link. Now, in today's game, what makes that particularly significant is that there were 2 of them, Ronald Araujo and Gerard Martin, in that they were so poor on the ball that Sevilla was so happy to let them have the ball. Sevilla was so focused on Pau Kubasi and Jules Koundé and making sure that those 2 guys were crowded out in that defense, giving Gerard Martin and Ronald Araujo time on the ball. They did this because one of 2 things. It's either they were not going to do anything with it because they're always prone to passing to the back, or they were going to make a mistake on the ball, which made sure that Sevilla were breaking Barcelona's highline. It was so childish. Within the first half, I thought that Sevilla should have scored 5. It ends today 4-1, but in reality, if Sevilla were more clinical and had more skill, more talent, they could have scored 10. And that first half was so dreadful. The way they were able to go through on Barcelona's defense, the way they pressed Barcelona. A few weeks ago, I identified that Barcelona, when they are pressed high, they are finding it very, very, very difficult to play out of the back. I think I was one of the few people who was sounding that alarm a few weeks ago. And it's materializing now, because in that first half, they pressed Barcelona and Gerard Martin was always prone to making a mistake. It's either he's kicking it out to touch or he's losing it to his attacker. Ronald Araujo is the same. Yes, did he make 1 or 2 the defensive tackles? He did. But on the ball, they knew all they needed to do was swarm him, and he good. Like, Sanchez was not doing a lot of defending. Why? Because he didn't need to. Ronald Araujo was in the game. So was Gerard Martin. So therefore, all they needed to do was focus on Pau Kubasi. Make sure that Pau Kubasi did not have enough time to play the ball the way he's used to playing it. And Koundé was crowded out and harassed as well. That defense was terrible. Now let's go into midfield, because for the 2nd game in a row, I don't know what Dani Olmo is doing. I'm not one of those reactive people that talk about, player out, player out. But like, If you had told me that Dani Olmo was in this game, I watched this game for 90 minutes, even when Barcelona went 4-1 down, and I did not want to continue watching. I had to continue because Dani Olmo played 90 minutes, and I did not hear not one time when he was on the ball. I don't even know if he had any touches, and he was supposed to be our 10. And because he was not partnering up and doing his job, Pedri and Frankie de Jong were stressed. I don't understand what's going on with Dani Olmo. Like, I really don't. I remember Dani Olmo. I know what he's capable of. I know the quality, the ability to operate in tight spaces, the clinical finishes that he brings to the team, the clutch moments. But this season, Dani Olmo has not finished preseason. It's match day 8 and Dani Olmo is still on vacation. It's ridiculous. I hate to pile on players, but it's what it is. This was one of the worst performances from Barcelona I've ever seen in my whole entire life, that I just have to call it out. This was a really bad game from everybody, but from Dani Olmo specifically. I don't know what you were doing in this team. I just cannot. Listen, if they had told me you were not in the game, I would have believed it, because I could not see you. For the second game in a row, we might have been playing with 10 men. We might as well have gotten a red card because you were nowhere to be seen. Forward line, Ferran Torres and Lewandowski. Let's start with Ferran Torres, because as I said on TikTok, Ferran Torres, I don't understand. Where were you? What were you doing? What was the impact? I did not feel any runs, any carries, any drives, nothing. You were shackled. You were family in a bottle. Like, I did not feel it. There was no combination play. And to be fair, your combination play is supposed to be coming from Gerard Martin, but like, he's not really good. But Gerard Martin did end up going off at halftime anyway, and so did Ronald Araujo. So the second half, I expected to see a little bit more improvement from Barcelona, but even then, I still did not feel your impact. I think some of you guys are so lucky right now that we have injuries. The likes of Lamine Yamal and Rafinha are not able to be in the team, so you can get away with performances like this. Because I believe if Rafinha and Lamine Yamal were on the bench and available to play, definitely you guys would be sitting up. I can't believe that this is only match day 8 and you guys already have me singing my lamentation song. And can I have Robert Lewandowski come to the front? Because, sir, I'm going to be honest with you. When Robert Lewandowski stepped up to take that penalty, I knew he was going to miss it. And how did I know he was going to miss it? Because he had not been in the game up until that moment. He was cold. I would have thought Marcus Rashford was the best person to take that pen. Reason being, Marcus Rashford was hot. He brought Barcelona into the game when they were 2-0 down. He should have taken that pen and made it 2-2. He was the only bright spot for Barcelona's attack. Lewandowski, I don't know where you were. You were not anywhere. I don't even know how many touches you had. So the idea that you could step up to the plate after not having a good game, after not being in the game, to take that pen was ridiculous to me, knowing where you are in your career. And now the goalkeeper, he sized you down. He sized you down. And he won that mind game. Because I had never seen that kind of run-up. That was a terrible pen. A terrible pen. And Hansi Flick, you should hold some L as well. Because this highline thing, it worked last season. But clearly, teams, they now have enough film. Barcelona are becoming predictable, and teams are also becoming predictable. When they want to break the high line, it's so easy. All you have to do is send the ball out wide first, then follow from there and put in a cross, and that's it. It's done. It's what PSG did on Wednesday. It's what Sevilla have done today twice. We need to figure out a new system. They have enough film now. This high line is now predictable. Ball out wide, ball in center. That's it. It's broken. It's dead. Barcelona 1, Sevilla 4. Barcelona end match day 8, sitting second to Real Madrid. We were only first in the league for 1 week. Now we go into the international break behind our eternal rivals, and this is like back-to-back defeats for Barcelona. We lost against PSG, now we've lost again against Sevilla. This one is particularly shameful. El Clasico is this month. Something has got to give, and give soon. Let me know what you thought about this game in the comment section. This has just been my thoughts and opinions on what we've just seen from Barcelona. But as always, it's going to be Vizca Barca for me, regardless. But until next time. Bye, guys.